is one of, I think, 3 or 4 duelists that made it with an F3 score. And we're starting off with Spinny.
Really curious to see now these two friends in action, and yeah, now Giuseppe I think is trying his best, no? Because you made it to the top 64, and I mean, you're playing against one of your teammates, but you know, here, let's see, he doesn't have the Gazelle.
Not yet. It seems, could this be another weak opening from Salamangreat? It hasn't shown much on stream this weekend, to be fair. So let's take a look. Hopefully he's got something more. He does not. Another very weak opening from Salamangreat. Wow. Only Bale links and a couple of sets. And you can see Giuseppe kind of smiling. Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like the stream might get, you know, some bad lucks for these Salamangreat players. Instead, on the other end, we see one of the actual one-offs in the deck, which is Kashtira Unicorn. What a way to start things off here.
And here also, with the Ash being normal summon, Giuseppe is having a think on this, but maybe he has an impermanence, and he does. Here it activates the Unicorn.
I mean, what a end, though. Yeah. It's, on the other end, yeah. Absolutely not the greatest of openers. When you're facing off against, instead, two of the best possible combinations, it's tough to stay in this.
Yeah, Marco here, maybe it's been a while since he last played against Sala. And just having a quick look at the Sanctuary.
Yeah, just the secret effect, which is not really relevant at this point, but yeah, that's what he's asking for. Not quite sure as that is relevant, but let's see if Marco has any follow-up or if he's just gonna enter battle phase. Seems like he's considering it. Really unsure. But no. Might just go for Anita as well. A lot of options available to him. He's playing a very small Kashtira engine with only 4 cards in the entire deck. So definitely an interesting approach to the deck list. And I mean, it's working out for him. We've mentioned it. Still technically undefeated at the event. So doesn't get much better than this. And Giuseppe is gonna have a think about this Ita and goes for the impermanence. Not the greatest, because now we can still move on with the birth, bringing back the unicorn. And yeah, seems like that's what we are gonna go for. Ooh, and we actually have a huge round of applause from the crowd. Obviously, most players are now knocked out of the tournament, and so there will be a lot of support coming up. And yeah, we just move on to the battle phase. And we just got rid of the Bale links, and now we are gonna take a look at this extra deck. Kind of a big deal, because although there are a lot of free offs, there are a lot of one-offs in the deck, and so Marco can potentially get rid of a card forever, which could be the Ita.
The Princess as well, it depends, yeah.
Yeah, he's debating about which one to pick. He's even considering the Phoenix, it seems. But the Ita also sounds good, so let's see what he decides to go for. Obviously, they know each other. They have been playing a little bit, so you can see that the friendly atmosphere is there, and he decides to get rid of the Princess, the only copy in the deck. And now in Memphis 2, let's see if he has any way to keep on pushing. and some calculation, still holding into a lot of cards.
Is Giuseppe playing Nibiru? I don't remember
No.
if Vincenzo was. No, right?
No, no.
Okay.
He's Giuseppe. No, Giuseppe is playing. No, I thought you asked
okay.
Marco. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. Mhm.
No, Giuseppe is playing. Yeah, the same deck list, which is really, really focused on a lot of entraps, and he's playing 45, which is the reason why he's able to main that many. I think they are at least 18. Yeah, I think they are 18. Yeah. So crazy number. Okay, fortunately, for him, one turn possibly too late, he picks up the circle. But to be fair, the field is not too scary from Marco. The only concern about this circle is that you can use the birth, which we have not seen yet. But it's actually going to be quite relevant because you get rid of both the Bailings and the Spinny. And yeah, this is exactly what's going to happen. And that's actually big deal. The card chosen is the Salamangreat of Fire. And yeah, as mentioned, 3 cards are banished off the birth. Big deal. Spinny gone. Both Bailing's protection effects gone. And now we see the Salamangreat of Fire. Yeah. And there is an infinite impermanence to stop it alongside the Unicorn to get rid of yet another card, possibly the Ita. Let's see what he's gonna pick. He could also get rid of the last copy of Bailings if he wants. But yeah, okay. I think Giuseppe just shows his hand with the Tacket.
Oh my, I saw the first 3 cards from Giuseppe, 2 Veilers and the Sanctuary. So.
No way. Wow. Yeah. Could it be another brick? The Sanctuary is drawn by Giuseppe.
Okay.
Oh my, the Foxy.
Huh.
This is also how it went for Vincenzo with just the Foxy and then he kind of bricked. Let's hope this will not be the case once again.
Okay, Marco.
Okay, but the circle is there. At least not a full brick. The circle is there. And unless there is an Ash Blossom to stop it, he will have some plays available to him.
And I think the only reason why Giuseppe is considering to add the circle or not, it may be an Ash Blossom from Marco. In case he wants to prevent it. Because if he takes the spin, he can discard it, bring him back, and then do the Stalio. So
and that's what he's considering actually going for. And yeah, he does go for Spinny. There are no DD Crows in the deck for Marco to punish this play. And yeah, as you mentioned, unfortunately, the Sanctuary is picked up. And now we are going to bring back the Spinny. Obviously, any response on the Stalio would hurt. And I would be shocked if it resolved. Wow, and Marco is really reading it after playing this deck a couple years ago. Maybe the Mourner, maybe, you know, another response would be nice here if he has it. It's gonna allow it, and no response. Wow. Would still be Anibiru. This can bring a lot of different cards from the Jaguar to the Gazelle to, as are we seeing here, Salamangreat of Fire.
Boy.
And here Marco gets the good news of the Sanctuary being drawn, unfortunately. And yeah, this is the usual stuff that we have seen with the Gazelle resolving and the Salamangreat of Fire added back to the end as an additional results for later on. The question is, what are we going to send? Is it going to be a trap card? Is it going to be another extended?
I think Marco doesn't have any interruption because he allowed them all.
Yeah, but you can see him debating whether to send Roar Rage, you know, or... Yeah, he does have a couple of Veilers. I can't quite tell the last card, but you see, this is the really important decision. Could be the last game for Giuseppe. I really want to make sure he doesn't mess up. And eventually, yeah, you can see he's changing his mind a lot. And this is kind of a nice feeling for Marco when your opponent, is debating. But eventually the roar is there. Safe choice. And now we can up the pace a little bit. We are now going to grab back the roar with the wolf. Do we have anything else to follow this up? Princess should be the play here. Yep. And there is a Ghost Ogre.
And he waited up until now, so...
Yep. Obviously not that useful against this deck because of Bailings. But Marco decided to keep that in. And yeah, this is fair enough. Not the flashiest of openings from Giuseppe, having drawn the Sanctuary. But with 2 Veilers in his hand and a couple of face-down cards with the Roar, he can still negate a few interactions. So,
well, he has 2 Veilers and the Roar, so it's...
at least, quite a few. I think the Kashtira cards are gonna be insane here if he picks them up, though. So yeah, just a recap of the cards. And yeah, now play should be back to Marco. Who draws a card, holding into 5 cards in hand at the moment against the 3 from Giuseppe. Again, as mentioned, Unicorn and Fenrir would be a nice way to start things off, but he's only playing 1 copy of the card. And the Wanted is the first card activated. Oh, and he's actually gonna go for the Snake Eye.
Yeah, it takes the Diabell Star, which I think makes sense if he really wants to play around. Oh, okay.
And he already had the other. Okay, so now makes more sense. Drops the Snake Eye, Diabell Star to summon the other.
And he goes with the Veiler. Yeah.
And yeah, the first Veiler is used here.
And now Marco goes with the Poplar. So maybe he was expecting Giuseppe to activate the Roar, but in case there's also a second copy of Effect Veiler, which may be activated, just having a think about this.
Yeah, you can see Giuseppe really focused, trying to figure out what's the best line here. And he allows it. So we could grab the Temple, or let's see if he goes for original. Yeah, it's debatable. As you can see, Marco unsure what to go for.
Because he knows that the Roar is there, so it's he really needs to find a way to play around this, but it also depends on the remaining 2 cards.
Yeah, and you can see he's still debating about it, but overing over.
Because you really want to force out the Roar. And then the other remaining one, maybe an Infield Impermanence, for example, but yeah, okay. He grabs the Field Spell. which he then activates.
Again, debating whether to respond to this.
Okay, he decides to go for the Ash, and here is going summon.
Yeah, because the positioning from Giuseppe allows the anima, although he can obviously grab back something, to be summoned co-linked into it.
Not easy now, because you may go for Veiler, but
Yeah. I mean, I would be shocked if Giuseppe didn't do this on purpose. But at the same time, like, this is gonna force out the roar, so it doesn't seem like the greatest of play to just summon the wolf there. And we are gonna go for princess. Uh, And yeah, now what they are debating about is the princess activation, which was used to destroy both the Sunlight Wolf and then protect it with the Balings.
so I think maybe it's just the order in which cards have been activated.
Yeah, and whether he said that he was gonna use the Balings, because it seems as if he forgot about it by the way that things went. And yeah, this is, I think, what they are debating about right now, because obviously it doesn't start a chain, the continuous graveyard effect, but I think, yeah, unfortunately, Giuseppe wasn't clear enough, and they are not going to allow him to banish the Balings. I think it's fitting, because, I mean, at such a stage, it was very obvious by how he acted that he forgot about it. And yeah, it could be a little bit of a shame. And now the Divine Tempo can be used, and this changes everything because he doesn't have a Salamangreat monster anymore. And although we are gonna use this Vader, this smells like disaster for Giuseppe.
Hey, it entirely changes the outcome of this game too. But thing is that now Marco knows that one of the set cards is Roar and the other one still needs to be understood, but he may continue now and goes for the Phoenix. Maybe he really wants to force out the other one. Oh, okay. No, he goes for the
But
rage. Okay.
he goes on, I think, almost,
On
I don't know.
purpose.
Yeah. It's like it was 100% obvious
Yeah.
that that was the Roar.
Yeah.
So honestly, I would have picked the other one if I was Marco. Because why do you even care about
Yeah, not sure
the
honestly
Roar at
why I
the
decided
moment?
to go for that. Because he knew that I mean, it was very obvious. But still.
And this is a lot of damage potentially coming. Giuseppe way.
Yeah, no, Marco is just trying to figure out which is the best option, but he goes with the Ash and then brings the Oak.
And yeah, we could be moments away from just having of a first player who is advancing to the top 32 in what is Marco.
Prince Ems comes down, brings back the Flame Badge. And yeah, Marco maybe few moves away from winning this one.
And yeah, he just is reading Bailings to make sure that he can only protect Salamangreat cards, and that is exactly the case. And as we are seeing now, we go for the Zelantis. This should be a piece of cake, unless there is another interruption by Giuseppe, which is the reason why we wanted to destroy the other face down card, but let's see. And this is gonna be the impermanence. As we thought, Phoenix should have been used on that set. It was not. And let's see if now we can still recover from this.
He would have changed this, honestly, because
yeah, it would have been a piece of cake. He might still be able to do it. As you can see, he's calculating. But like the tell was so obvious from Giuseppe. He was about to flip that roar. And yeah, sometimes this can make a lot of difference, and you should pay a lot of attention to what your opponent is trying to do. But as you can see here, he's going to crush. He's going to use the Salamangreat Raging Phoenix that he set up in the grave. And then he enters the battle phase, swings over, attacks with the rest of his monsters. And yeah, they're just doing some calculations, I think, but this is a lot of damage coming down for Giuseppe. And yeah, this should be enough, and it is. So